Pat Mayo here with a quick DraftKings preview for the 2021 World Golf Championships Workday Championship at the Concessions. So here's what we're looking at for the WGC this year. We have a stacked field. It's less than 80 players. So everyone's going to end up making the cut, which is great, but it's the first time that we've seen this course ever really in PGA competitive play. Now, you'd be normally looking at WGC Mexico at this course. So Chapultepec is where this event has been played for the past 2 years. So if you're looking back at old databases or researching course history, know that it has nothing to do with this course in particular. The Concessions is in Florida. It's Bermuda grass. It's a par 72, 7,474 yards. And that's about all the information that we had. There's a ton of sand. There's a ton of water littered throughout this course. So there are some blow-up holes. Some of the longer holes do have forced layup areas. So wedge play, so 100 to 150 yards, going to be key. But if you're just trying to bear down on key stats this week, you're going to be looking at off the tee, probably double approach in terms of weighting. Around the green is probably going to be a little bit key too if this course does play as difficult as some of the commentators suggest. I don't really know. It's kind of up in the air. So if we're talking about betting on DraftKingsSportsbook.com, especially for the opening lines, until we really figure out what's going on at this course, you probably just want to take the value. The guys that I can see being a value off the hop are probably the players coming over from Europe. So of the PGA players that we've seen, basically it's just Paul Casey's not playing, Tiger Woods isn't playing. Everyone else inside the top 50 is going to be here from the PGA Tour. But in Europe, you have 2 seasons combined into one from the Race to Dubai. So you have the 2021 players currently in the Race to Dubai Championships and the 2020 because stuff got thrown off a little bit, and this is a way that you can make the field larger. So some of the Euros that we're seeing for the first time in America that you probably know, you got Hatton, Fleetwood, Lowry, Rose, Wiesberger, and Victor Perez. I'm guessing that both Webb Simpson and Tyrrell Hatton are going to have pretty decent long opening odds versus the rest of the players that we've come to see. Hatton won overseas already. He's won in Florida in the past. He's a top 10 player in the world. There's no reason for him to open at like 30 to 1, 35 to 1. So if he is in that range, you're probably going to want to bet that right away, even knowing nothing about the course, because that number will get smashed down immediately. Then you have like your Webbs and your Sungjae Ims. I mean, Sungjae hasn't played in 2 weeks. It's like the longest stretch of his career where we haven't seen him in competitive play. But those are all Bermuda specialists who can win at this event. You don't love that it's such a long course in a par 72. That would theoretically favor bombers. However, these guys great on Bermuda and they can win at any sort of course. So I'm not too worried about those guys, and I expect them to all come in with longer odds, and probably they should actually warrant. Those should be 20 to 25 to 1 players. I mean, not Im, but Webb and Hatton. Im should probably be like 35 to 1, and you're probably going to see them at like 30, 35, 40, 50, or 60, that kind of range. Justin Rose also coming over from overseas, has a second place finish over there, a decent Florida performer, and another one who's more out of sight, out of mind, that probably comes in at like 80, 85 to 1, 90 to 1. I'd probably hop on that right away too. The other Euros, you got Seabez, Detry, Sammy Valimaki, Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre, Aaron Ray, Scrivener, Sullivan, Herbert. That's Lucas Herbert. Rasmus Højgaard is over for the first time this year. A young player who is very good. Watch out. He is someone who can dial it in with his irons. You also have Lee Westwood, Victor Perez, and Laurie Cantor. You also have Japanese players, Australian Asian players, South African players, Sunshine Tour, Asian Tour. So it truly is a WGC. I wouldn't really worry too much about those other tours. Those are guys that you can leave aside this week. But I think that the Euros are probably going to have the most value, especially the high and high class type Euros that you'll see in this field. Other than that, you're just going to be trying to draw out who is the best of the very top end players. And it was, as we see week to week to week to week, that it's going to be someone different. Like Bryson missed the cut at Riviera. However, the only time that we really have any sort of data from competitive play at the Concessions is the 2015 NCAA Championship, which of course Bryson won. He beat CT Pan in the finals that year. He became the one of 5 players ever to win the NCAA and the US Amateur all in the same year. So I wouldn't really be concerned about someone like Bryson. Bryson, Rory, and JT all missed the cut at the Genesis. However, they're all really good in Florida, so I wouldn't pay it too much attention. So it's more of a gut feel week than anything, although you can bear down on the stats. Like I said, approach, off the tee are the two you really want to hammer down on, and probably proximity from 100 to 150 yards. That's the quick preview for the WGC Workday Championship at the Concession. You can find my quick picks up on the DraftKings YouTube page a little bit later on in the week. My article and my cheat sheet up on dknation.com for full previews, including the course intro. Check out Mayo Media Network up on YouTube right now.